Winbush here. I'm going to do another tutorial for you today in Cinema 4D, this time using Redshift. We're going to take the Z depth pass out of Redshift, bring it into After Effects, do a rack focus blur on there. We could use it to add mist, environmental effects. But the main thing is whenever we're working in Cinema 4D and you try to use the depth pass, it's going to render all white. So there's a few little tricks in there that you have to hit to be able to get the actual information out. And so without further ado, let's jump in and get started. Okay, so to get started, I have this scene that I pre-built in Cinema 4D. I'm using a Forester plugin. I can leave that link to the description. Basically, it gives us our foliage and our trees. So if you look in our top view, you see I have a few trees scattered around. These boxes down here, this is tall grass. I can actually show you what it looks like rendered out. So this is our scene here. You can see our trees with leaves on them. We have some hills in the background and some dirt on the ground. But to get our depth pass, we want to go to our Redshift AOV manager. Now you want to find that. Click on the left hand side here, pull over depth and click that. Now in our attributes window, you'll see our depth mode is at Z, filter type full, and then we're using our camera for near and far information. But you notice if I go into my render view, start another render, let's click buckets, and I'll pull down the depth pass. When it starts to render in, it's going to render in all white. And now I know this is the problem that a lot of people have is asking, where's the Z depth information? It shouldn't be all white there, especially if you're using your camera information and whatnot. So to get past that, we'll want to go back into our AOV manager, click on depth mode, and if you click Z normalized, it will start to bring in all of our information here. So you can see our blacks up front, that would be what's in focus, and the further back we get, it gets grayer until we reach our sky, which is white. And as you know, the lighter, the more out of focus it's going to be. So all of our stuff in the front here will be in focus, and as we move back, that stuff will be out of focus when we bring it into After Effects and use a camera blur on it. And so you can use your camera to adjust the depth on it, but what I like to do here, it's a little bit easier, is uncheck this use camera near and far. And now you'll see we can use our attributes below here to control our depth distance. So like if I bring this up to around the 7,000s, you can see the further back, that stuff is starting to get whited out. And it's bringing our grayscales a little bit closer to the camera. So let me see, I'll bring this up to maybe just 8,000. See how that looks. So yeah, we still have our stuff in our foreground. That's going to be all in focus. And then as we move towards the middle, it's going to be a little bit more out of focus. And so that's all you have to do for that. And then I'll show you how to bring it into After Effects to composite it. One trick that I like to use is in my render settings over here. Let me close these out. So you go up here, your render settings, and under save, you can go to compositing project files. And since I'm using After Effects, that's my target application, but you can also do Nuke, Motion, and Digital Fusion. But you'll want to check all these, and then when your render is done, click Save Project. And what that does is that's going to create an AEC file inside your render, wherever you rendered your stuff at. And the trick to that is when I open up After Effects and I import that AEC file. So I'm on PC, I'm going to hit Control I to bring up my import window. Go to Z depth pass, go to my renders, and look for my AEC file. So I'll import that, and that's going to import everything that I had rendered out. So right now I just have my depth pass. If you have puzzle maps or crypto maps or reflections, all that stuff is going to come into this special passes folder. And so I just drag this up, and now everything is clean in one folder here, and it already makes a composition file for you as well. So we could double click on that and only rendered one frame. And so you can see that in the middle of our timeline. So I'm just going to grab these two files. It's my camera and my base file there. And then maybe move this up 15 frames, hit N, hit right click and trim comp the work area so I don't have a super long timeline. And I'm only working with one frame anyway, but I don't know. It's just something I don't like, working in long timelines if I don't have to. So we have our file in here already that we're going to be working with. So I'm going to bring over some levels into here. So I went to my effects and presets panel, typed in levels. I'm going to drag that into my effects console and just lower this down a tiny bit, make it look a little bit nicer. And then I have a sky file that I already imported earlier. I'm going to set this behind here. And I'm just going to make it fit my composition a little bit. So I hit S on there to bring up this scaling menu. Scale it down to around 35. And then there we go. So I have my sky. I can darken that down a little bit. All right, so there we go. There's our scene so far. And now if I come back here to my left hand side, go to my depth layer here, I'm going to drag this down into this box and make its own pre-comp. So here's what we rendered out as Cinema 4D. And the reason I bring this into the some pre-comp is so I can add levels to it to darken it down a tiny bit more. Because if you do it in our actual working composition, if you add your camera lens blur to it and you add levels, it doesn't recognize the levels for some reason. So to get around that, I bring it into my pre-comp, add levels, and I'll just start to crush them down a little bit because I want to make sure my blacks in the front are really black so that stuff stays in focus. So I'm pretty happy with it right there. Gonna go back to my composition here, bring in my Z depth pre-comp, and then I'm just gonna go down to here where it says normal. These are modes here. I'm just gonna screen it out. So there we go. Now we have our fog, mist, whatever you want to call it, inside our composition. And if I want to knock that down a tiny bit, I'm gonna hit T on the keyboard to bring up the opacity here. Maybe just knock down the opacity a tiny bit. So it depends on the look that you're going for. You know, this is like early morning fog. If you just want a little hint of it in there, just bring the opacity down, let's say on a 45. Okay, cool. So now to get the DOF, I'm going to right click in the blank area in my composition here to bring up new and adjustment layer. If you don't have any room down here, you can also go up to layer, new, adjustment layer in your top menu. So I'm gonna bring that down here. I'm gonna just rename this to blur. If you want to rename anything, just hit the enter key and that will let you type anything in here. And then I'm gonna go back to my effects and presets, type in camera, and we should see camera lens blur. Now this comes in After Effects already. There's third-party plugins you could buy as well, but this one works pretty decently. So you notice whenever I drop it in over my adjustment layer, everything is blurred out. On the sides here is kind of fringed. To get past that fringe, and this is for any blur, you want to go over to repeat edge pixels. Once you click on that, your blur is going to go all the way across. See, now on the sides it's clean. And so what I'm going to do next is under shape, I want to bring it to the highest setting, go to decagon, and our blur, it's at 5 right now. I can add a little bit more, maybe up to 8. It might be too much. Let's do it on a 7. Let's try 6. Okay, well, we'll do it with 6. And so now under blur map, we want to find our our depth pass layer, which is layer number 3 there, as you can see in the composition. Click on that, and now you see everything in the foreground is clear, everything in the background is blurry, and everything in between is in between as it should be. So if you really want to see a high example, we can bring up the blur. I mean, that looks bad, but you know, you just have to play around with your settings to see what's the best fit. But now you can see our background is really blurred out, our foreground is really clean. And like I said, this is the one that comes in After Effects. There's better third-party versions out there that you can use for a depth of field, but that's how you do it. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, please leave a comment and leave a like. And if you have any more questions, definitely hit me up an email or leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll try to answer it for you in the comments. Or if it's something that needs longer explanation, I'll do another video for you. So until next time, I'll see you guys.